Hey guys, this is Mark from Z-Car Guide, and this is meant to be a pretty quick video that shows you how to install this product that you see on the screen here. This is the 240Z dashboard half cap. This is a popular product because a lot of these 240Zs, after having spent years exposed to the sun, have developed pretty unsightly cracks on the top of the dashboard. It's a really common problem, and understandably a lot of people want to find a solution to improving the appearance of their interior here. Now, rather than getting a whole new dashboard yourself, or maybe doing a complete repair of the dashboard, which involves taking it out, a lot of people opt for these dash caps. Now, I take a lot of pride in making sure that all of the products that I carry on my website are the best available. I try to find the best vendors of the best products that have the best fitment and are just overall the best product to carry. This was a little bit hard to find the best fitting ones. But I did find that overall, the ones that fit just generally the best were produced by a company called Accuform. So I signed up to be a distributor with them. And it's important for me to make a video because while the fit is very good, it's not perfect. And as you'll see here, it requires a little bit of muscling and a little bit of creativity, honestly, to get these to look really good in the interior. So without further ado, I will show you how we installed these. So I wanted to show this clip first because it really illustrates what I was just talking about there. You can see Greg here is cutting kind of like a little chunk out of the existing dashboard there to allow the new dash cap to fit a little bit easier. This is just something we had to do to make it fit in there easily. I'm not sure if this is something that may not happen on every car, may not be required on every car because these things might warp a little bit differently in different levels of sun exposure or have expanded or something like that. But in order to make it fit on this car, we did have to cut this little chunk out here, as you can see. So the most important step whenever you're working with adhesive is actually preparing the surface properly. This is often overlooked, but it's the most important part just because you really can't expect an adhesive to bond to a surface well if you haven't cleaned it and made sure you've removed all little pieces of debris and whatnot. So what Greg is actually going to do here, I only have a clip of him cleaning, but he's cleaning it and then he's going to take some 80 grit sandpaper and sand it down evenly, and then he's going to clean it again with a solvent cleaner. Solvent cleaner both before and after. So moving back to this part here, if this is something you need to do as far as procedure goes, what you're going to want to do is as you can see, Greg is taking a razor blade here and just cutting along that line that he masked out. And you may also want to grab a set of needle nose pliers and kind of grab onto where you've already cut, especially once you cut this other line here, just to make sure that nothing kind of wiggles behind you. And makes it difficult to cut a straight line. So now we're going to move on to preparing the dash cap. You can see Greg is also taking 80 grit sandpaper here. The difference to this, as opposed to the actual dashboard, is that Greg is only sanding the perimeter there. We sanded the whole surface of the dash pad of the existing dashboard, but we don't know exactly where they're going to mate up. So you want to have one surface that you sanded the entire surface, and this surface of the dash cap, we just sanded that perimeter. And the perimeter is just where we're going to be installing the adhesive. There's really no need to sand where we aren't going to be installing adhesive. So you can see Greg kind of has a perimeter around the back of the dash cap and sort of around the gauges, and just only sand that perimeter. And of course, you want to make sure that you clean down your sanded area with some cleaning solvent again. So the next step here is to actually apply this sealant. One thing to note is that this product, the silicone sealant, is included with the purchase, so any purchase of a dashboard does come with the sealant that you need. And as you can see, Greg is applying it along that perimeter that we just created with the 80 grit sandpaper.
Now we want to make sure we apply pressure to all the points that we put the adhesive. And we ran a bead of adhesive along the top edge of where I trimmed the back of the old dashboard off of the car, so that the new one, the lip would securely touch the metal part of the dash underneath the original pad. And then the metal trim piece will go back in place in its correct position again.
We also made a wooden brace.
I rounded the front edge of this piece of wood to kind of fit where the gauges go there. Now this is a thin piece of plywood. You can get a scrap from a friend who does woodworking. Oh, I have this upside down. There we go. And the plywood works pretty well because you can bend it and it has like spring pressure. So it's now holding a substantial amount of pressure against the front of this, which is very important to get a really nice tight fit. I also have a small one made that I can put between the steering wheel with a little bit of a piece of cardboard to give me the that'll stay there.
That gives good pressure.
Now we've got that forward pressure. Now we want to apply some weights to the top of the dash to hold that all in position, and then it's just a matter of allowing the adhesive enough time to dry.
I figured I wouldn't do a better job than Greg or Gary on that, so I let them educate you guys on that step. On the top of the dashboard, you just want to weigh it down with something heavy. They got some metal pieces here laying on top, and you want to give it 24 hours. The end result, I think, is pretty good. You can obviously see where the dash cap starts and where the dashboard ends, but it really is an improved look upon the cracked dash, and that's why it's such a popular product among 240Z owners. And as a final note, I have made discount code DASH-YT. If you apply that at checkout on any order of any dash cover on shop.zcarguide.com, you'll get 10% off of those items. Any dash covers are 10% off with that code.